Oh, g'day everybody. Today is Sunday, cheese making day. I've made a start because a lot of the other stuff is a bit boring. You don't want to be sitting through that. In another couple of minutes I'm going to have to cut the curds. I've got everything going down here. I've heated the milk to a certain temperature. I've added all the cultures and rennet, etc. I've sanitised everything that I'm using, countertops, sinks, cloths, you name it, hands, arms, sprayed myself. I use this Star San. You make it up, you don't need much of it, and it comes in a big bottle. I've got it when I was doing my beer and stuff, you know. And it's very safe, it's food safe. You don't have to wash it off when you've sprayed it. There we go. It's that's an hour. That's been waiting an hour now with the rennet. Now I have to cut the curds. So we'll endeavour to turn that off. Right, we've got to do a test now. We'll do a test just to see if the curd is set. Clean tea towel. That's all been sanitised. Now, let me see if we can let you. There, that's the one. We might have to go over here. I think we will. So you might be able to see it better. Yeah, there you go. You'll be able to see what I'm doing there. Now, you just make a split down there. Oh, that's well ready. So, what we'll do, got to cut it into half-inch pieces. This one, Landsman with Dr. Sigmund Freud's. Not very straight lines, I'm afraid, but it doesn't matter.
I don't think I'll have the bottle that comes on my own.
They're my vertical ones. Now the horizontal ones. But from this side, they're still vertical, so. You do this so it releases some of the whey. Now we have to do as best we can sideways on, starting at the top and gradually going to the back wall. Now this side.
Well, I'll try. Can you do it for me?
Now, that's that done. Now we've got to wait 5 minutes. So it's 1:31 by the clock, and 1:36 I shall be back. I'll be back. So we'll put the lid back on and we'll see you in a bit. Now I've let the curds rest for 5 minutes after cutting them, and now I've got to stir them for an hour. And that's about how big the curds are. That means it'll be a very dry cheese, a hard cheese, and hopefully a crumbly cheese like I like it. I had cheese on toast for tea last night, and I used Cheshire Cheese. Oh, and it brought back some wonderful memories. It was absolutely delicious, and with a couple of slices of tomato on top. It was absolutely divine. So I've got to keep doing this now, on and off, so it doesn't settle to the bottom and become a big clump. Not just yet. I'm heating now it back up to I'm heating it back up to 90 degrees now from 86, and that's got to do it slowly over the hour. So that's where we're up to now.
Is it my recipe? Is it his? I don't know.
I'm doing an American style recipe.
It was a great morning at Devil's.
And they do things a little bit differently to what we do here in Australia, from what I can gather.
So I'm going to make one.
They almost do a cheddaring with it. Some don't, but they don't call it cheddaring. And they don't make it into slabs like you do cheddaring. They cut it into 1/2-inch pieces.
So I've been very careful in my recipes.
Before, and that all happens before you actually put it in the press. And it's a long, extra 3 hours instead of 2 hours. So we're in for a little bit of a ride here.
That's ground cinnamon, then currants.
It takes an hour to do the stirring, then 3 hours to do the what I call the cheddaring, and then you've got to leave it for 30 minutes to drain, and then you've got to leave it for 15 minutes with a weight on it, and then you've got to cut it into chunks, salt it. I'm going to salt it.
So you just have to build up these layers, about 6 or 7
and a lot put it in a salt bath, but I don't want to do that because I'm not going to do a mould on the outside of it. I don't want a mould on the outside. I don't ever remember Cheshire Cheese having a mould on the outside, and quite often then they'll put it in wax. I don't want to put it in wax, it's too messy. I'm going to just air dry it on the table for a few days. When it's dry enough, I'm going to pack it in a vacuum sealed bag, like I did my last one, and we'll see how we go from there. But you can see the whey coming out of it now.
Here we go. Well, that's not too bad. Looking out a bit at the edges, but yeah. Now, simply onto
a couple of big chunks escaped. I've just cut them with the spatula. So I'll leave that there for now because we've got another 50 minutes to go, and I'll bring you back then. See you in a bit.
For 40 minutes.
Well, back again.
And now we have to find some new ones.
We're at the stage now where we have stirred for an hour, and we've let the curds settle to the bottom of the whey for 30 minutes. Now we have to take the curds out of the whey, and we're going to do this a little bit at a time. Take some of the whey out, and then I've got to take the curds out and put them in a cloth. And this is the easiest way, so they tell me, of taking the whey out. So, and then I can scoop the whey, the curds out. And I'll have to take this over to the sink then to take the curds out. Got to be careful I don't get any curds in there. Don't want to waste them after all this hard work. And that's about it there. Now, what I have to do now and I'll move the camera, so excuse me, so you can see what I'm doing. There, that's got it. Now, just zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing here. I've got to put this into the sink. Now, I've got to scoop the curds up. With this. A few curds in there. Got to get a lot of whey out of here, out of this lot. Not like that last lot about the farmer's cheddar, the farmhouse cheddar. You needed a little bit of moisture in that cheese, whereas this you want it on the drier side. Well, I do anyway. I want it a bit crumbly. So, we've got 3 hours now of tossing and well, I've got 15 minutes. I've got to put 10-pound weight on this, and then I've got 3 hours. I don't know where they get the 3 hours from. I've only ever done 2 before, but we'll stick to the recipe. I mean, I'm notorious for skipping recipes and doing them my way, but when I'm new at something, I like to follow the process. This way, you can refrigerate and put it in bread. You can put it in pancakes. You could cook with it with all sorts of things. And I've done that, but not this time. This is going on the garden because it's good for your grass, good for your plants, so I believe. That's my excuse, I'll stick in with it. Now, what I've got to do now, oh, I took it away. Oh well, we'll have to try and I'll have to try and get my son to help me. Oh no, I should be able to do it. There we go. Now, we've got to gather this up, this muslin, not muslin. Now I've got to put, which is 4 kilos, £10, £2.5 to a kilo, roughly. Now, made a bit of a mess down there, but I'll soon clear that. Right, stay there. Now, I've got to come back in 15 minutes. So I'll set the timer for 15 minutes. And I'll bring you back on the next step, because I can't do anything else yet till that's done. See you in a bit. Yeah, well, folks, here we are again. That's my doorbell going off. It's my son cutting the grass. Every time he passes with the mower, the doorbell rings. Anyhow, that's the 15 minutes up. We take these weights off now. They'll have to be re-sterilised. And we take this out. Actually, that's on the wrong one. This is the board that's been sterilised. Right. Now, where are I? Put that over there. I'll wash that out in a minute because I'm going to have to use that again. Now, forgot about this. I've got to sterilise this. That's all you do. Lightly spray it, spray the hands. Now, 1, 2, 3. And we put this back. Put this back. In the pot. Here. There, they fell over. I'll keep that there like that. And I'll put the lid back on. I'm going to go into 80. Right, now I'm going to wash this out. I'll be using this again. Leave that there. Now, I've just got to read up, see what we've got to do. I've got to turn them every 10 minutes for the first hour. So we're going to do it 6 times. So no problemo. Well, it's looking the right colour. It's kind of a chalky colour. Anyway, I'm washing these up, and I shall bring you back in 10 minutes or so. I might bring you back on the last 10 minutes. Alright, I'll catch you in 50 minutes. Okay folks, here we are again. I've just closed that door, the telly's a bit loud. Wife's watching the telly. Now, I flip them every 10 minutes for the first hour. Now I've got to flip them every half an hour for the next 2 hours. I thought this was going to be an easy one. This is the hardest one yet. So, when that's all done, I've got to put it in the I've got to put it in the mould in muslin, and I've got to leave it overnight to drain without pressing for 10 hours. Then I've got to put it back in here, take it out, flip it, put it back in here and press it for 2 hours, 4 hours, then 6 hours, then 12 hours, then 24 hours. So it's going to be in there for 48 hours, for 2 days. Then I got to air dry it. Unbelievable. Anyway, it better be worth it. and just give me a second. Right, now I'll put the lid back on, and I just found out a while back, it is an American recipe this. There's a place in Massachusetts called Cheshire, and they made, I don't know which president it was, they made a 200 pound cheese for the president and took it to the White House. It's supposed to be the same Cheshire cheese as England, but I would have preferred an English recipe. But we'll give this a go. If I don't like this, then I'll certainly search for an English recipe. I wasn't sure what recipe this was, you know. Now I've just been doing some research and I've just found out. Okay, well, I'll see you in 2 hours. Ta-ra. Right. Well, it's had its 2 hours. I've got to cut these now into 1/2 inch squares, and see what happens. Cut them in half again. Well, they're looking pretty good, and it's white like Cheshire cheese is. Well, I didn't know there's 3 kinds of Cheshire cheese. I've only ever seen the white one, so I've never seen the others, but one's got that orange stuff in it. It's only a natto, I think they call it, and it's gives that an orange colour. I've never seen that one. I've only ever seen the white one. And there is another one, I can't remember what the other one was. There we go. I thought the cheddar was a hard cheese to make. The last one I made was the farmhouse cheddar. So that was very easy compared to this. This is pretty involved. I've still got 48 hours to go before I can put it to air dry. We've got to leave it overnight for 10 hours outside the press, but in the mould. But keeping it warm's the hard bit. I've got to keep it warm now, around about the 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So we'll see how that works out. Oh, been a long process. I thought this was the easy one. I saw a video of somebody doing Cheshire cheese a couple of weeks ago, and I thought, oh, that looks pretty easy, but it wasn't the same as this. But this looks like Cheshire cheese, to be honest. Proof will be in the tasting. I'll be very critical And if it's wrong, I don't think it will be my fault. I think it'll be the recipe that I consider is wrong. Because I know what Cheshire Cheese tastes like. Because it's my favourite. I'm going to have a taste. Got to mature a bit, you know. Right, that's that. Bit out of the way now. Give you a bit of a look here now. Uh-oh. There we go. Now, 3.5 tablespoonfuls of salt. Texture's alright. This is the craziest There's one, 2, 3 and a half. Now, I'll spray my hand again. And we'll mix that in. Right. Got to get the cheesecloth. Can you fix the telly for Mum, Glenn? For me? I'm a bit worried again whether I got too much curd like last time. Very dry at the moment now, I can tell that. It's going to take some pressure, and I can understand why they want it 48 hours now in. In a press, although it's not going in a press yet till tomorrow. It's 24 hours in a press. Oh, easy, easy peasy. as they say. Right. That's too big. Now, what else have I got? Wash my hands again. I need a trivet. I've got some somewhere, but God knows where.
Suddenly it feels a bit like Neil and his
Yes.
I promised to get you on lunch back in the cottage, if we could find enough food for 4. And incredibly, we struck $5 gold almost straight away.
Found one. That. Put the lid on. Clean up. And that's it, folks. Till tomorrow. Then I shall have to come back and record what I do in the morning, because I'll have to do it before I have a shower, I would think. Let me just clear this up off.
Classic way of serving scallops in the summer with bacon.
Everything's been thoroughly sanitised, and there we go. I'll just sign off a bit now. I'll be it's, well, we'll call it 20 past 7 in 10 hours. What will that bring me? 20 past 5. I won't be out at 20 past 5. It'll be 12 hours in there. I'll be up at 7 probably, maybe 6:30. Quite often I'm up at 6, but we'll see. Especially this cold weather, you don't want to get out of bed, do you? Even if you're not asleep, you still want to stay in bed. Alright guys, we can't go any further tonight. It's a 10-hour wait now. I've got to make sure that that stays at a certain temperature, and means I'll be switching on and off till I go to bed, and then I'll just have to leave it till in the morning. Hope it holds its heat. I've got it in a bain-marie, so it stays fairly hot, and I suppose it's got to dry out, and then I've got to leave it on the table. I'm not sure how long for this one. It's usually about 3 or 4 days. Sometimes you can do it in 2. It depends how dry it is or how wet it is. So I've just got to clean up now, and then I'm going to sit down, take my overalls off, and enjoy a night's TV viewing. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow, and I'll see you then. Ta-da now. Well, good morning all. It's Monday morning, the 15th of July. Time for a cuppa. Then have a go at the flash milk dispenser. Tell me how good that is. Anyway, It's coffee time. I've just got I'm an hour and 50 minutes late. I should have done this at 5 o'clock. I'm actually going to have to press the curds now that I made yesterday. It's been in the mould for 10 hours now, draining. That seems rather excessive to me. Well, actually it's been in 11 hours and 50 minutes because I wasn't going to get up at 5 o'clock. It's too cold. It's freezing here this morning. We're going through the last few days we've been going through a very cold snap in Australia. Apparently it's snowing on the snowy mountains, so cheers guys, I gotta have this. Otherwise I won't be able to function. I suppose a lot of you out there will know what I'm talking about. Gotta have me coffee. Anyway, for all those who've been sticking with me with this video, we're on to the next stage. It takes 3 days. If I can read it from here, I've got to press it at 25 pounds for 2 hours. Then I've got to press it at 35 pounds for 4 hours. Then I've got to press it at 60 pounds for 6 hours. Then I've got to press it at 100 pounds for 12 hours. And then the final one is 150 pounds for 24 hours. Well, I don't know where I'm going to get 150 pounds from. That's a little bit excessive, that, but that's what it says in the book. And like I say, this is an American recipe, it's not an English recipe. So I'll see what it's like. If it's nice, I'll make it again. If it's not, I'll look for an English recipe, the one I'm used to. So okay, let's get this show on the road. I'm going to take the lid off here now, put that down there. I shall endeavour to zoom in so you can see what I'm doing over here. Too much, we'll get it all in so you can see what I'm doing. Right, it's already in the muslin. So take that out. I'm going to turn that off. I'm just hoping that it's not too cold for it. I'll take that out of there. And we shall put that on there. I've got to sanitise this, which I did yesterday, but I'm going to do it again. I'm going to sanitise my hands. Can't stress enough about sanitising things. Now, what I'm going to do here is, in fact, I'm going to do this here. I don't know whether you can still see it, but I'm just going to pull the cheesecloth tight so there's no wrinkles in it. And then we'll fold it over like that. And then we'll put the follower, what they call a follower, on top. Like that. we've got to centralise this. Put the stick in, that just keeps it even, all even, I suppose. Right, there we go. That's looking pretty. Now we've just got to pull these down till they are firm but not tight, and then we start tightening it up. I tried to get some big black ones to replace these screws, the wing nuts. Right, now we've got to 5, 10, 15 pounds, we've got to go 3 down. I'll have to keep adjusting this as it gets pressed smaller, and it'll get looser, so we'll have to just keep my eye on that it's still pressing at all times. Right, that comes out easy and it's firm. I don't think there'll be much way coming out of it, to be honest. I really don't. I don't think there'll be much way coming out of it. And that's it. That's got to wait there now. I'll call that, well, it's 6:58 by this clock. Or 6, 7, 8:58. We'll call it 9 o'clock. And I'll have to flip it and then increase the poundage to 35 pounds. At the moment it's on 15. Okie dokie, I'll bring you back then. See you in a bit. Okay folks, it's just about time to take the Cheshire Cheese out that I made last Saturday. It's supposed to have taken 3 days, but it's taken an extra day and a half because of the cold weather, trying to get the curds to form together. I still don't know whether they formed together or not. Up until yesterday there were still cracks in it, so we'll have a look now and see, and then if it's formed properly, I will vacuum seal it and put it in the fridge, and then I've got to wait 10 weeks before I can eat it. So I don't know whether I'll do this recipe again. It's by a very, very accomplished cheesemaker. I'm not a very accomplished cheesemaker by any means. I'm a novice, I'm a learner. This is my 3rd cheese I've ever made in my life. I'm not doing too bad. but this recipe is a little bit drawn out, and because of the waiting times and the cold weather, your curds are supposed to stay warm. These didn't stay warm, so it's taken an extra day and a half to do what they do. In 3 days, it's took me 4.5 days. Anyway, let's have a look. Let's see what we've got. I've took it out of the press, and we shall see. I'll take the follower off. That's what they call the follower. I'll take it out of the cheesecloth. Keep your fingers crossed, folks. This has been a lot of hard work. Got a few holes in, but I'm afraid that's going to have to do. Smells alright. Smells pretty damn good, actually. Right, now the next step. See if we can see what we can do here. We need to make sure that this is going to go in there. Right. Just give it a little bit more there, like that. Cut it off. What we have to do now is just seal the bottom. Manual seal. It's happening, folks. I don't need that no more. That can go in the wash. 4 bars, one more to go. Yep, we're on the blue. There she goes. That should be sealed. It's a good seal. I did a double seal on it. Only just got it, but it's there. Now, I'm not going to write on this bag, I'm going to make a label. So I'll do that later, and I'll let you see it. Now, that's looking good. Now, what I need to do, I need to get rid of this board, this cutting board. We'll chuck that over there. We'll get rid of that over there. We'll get that on there. Right. Now, that's the smooth side. I'll turn it over. You say do this. No, it's alright. I need to lift it up a bit. Yeah, that might do. Should have used my other one. That'll do. Now, vacuum and seal. Modern Technology. Although I think that's been around for a while. Vacuum sealing. That can go in the wash. You don't put soap on that. You don't put soap on that. I just hot water and then I'll boil it. I think we've done the trick. Thank goodness for that. There we should be done. Now I'll just check the seal, make sure everything's well and truly sealed. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure and do another seal on the top of that one. It's not gonna hurt, manual seal. It won't hurt. I get paranoid with it. My other one, I wouldn't have to do that, but I've got to get it down and bring it out, and just for one little job like this, when this can do the job reasonably well, you know, there's no point in making work for myself, especially at 7:45 at night. Well, that looks like it's done. Yes, that's done. That should give me a double seal now. There we go. That's going away for 10 weeks and I shall label it. And I'll be back in a sec when I've done the label. Let's show you what it looks like. Okay, guys, the label's done. See if you can see it. There she goes. It says Cheshire Cheese, made the 13th of the 7th, 24. I packed it today, the 19th of the 7th, 24, and I got to wait 10 weeks before I use it. So there we go, it's going in my cheese fridge. And I'll do a taste test in 10 weeks and let you have a look, see what it come out like. I'm hoping it's going to be okay. I don't know how it's reacted to this cold weather. It's supposed to have kept it at 70 degrees Fahrenheit, between 70 and 80 degrees after I pressed it. Or there's a overnight before you press it. And trying to keep it in this kitchen at 70 to 80 degrees was almost impossible. And then when I put it in the press in the basket, I also had a problem. During the day I took it in our bedroom and the sunlight coming through the window kept it reasonably warm but not hot. So a day and a half longer than what it normally said, and I was nowhere near the 70 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit, you know, especially at night time. Anyway, what I want to say now is to everybody, well, hope you enjoy the video. Thanks for watching. Do all the good stuff. Give us a like and share it and comment. Make some comments. I always welcome the comments and I always answer the comments. I'm not one of these guys that ignore them, because I don't get too many. Well, I get a lot, but I don't get 200 or 300 at a time. I get 5 or 6 every now and again, you know. So I'll always answer them while ever I can.
We should be good now.
If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing, that helps. But putting likes on really helps because it helps spread the video around to other people. It's the algorithms apparently that do it. It's nobody sat at a desk, it's automatic, and it just picks up on likes, and the more people like it, the further it goes and the more it gets seen. It's as simple as that.
Man, you've never seen anything like that?
Thanks to everybody else who's subscribed to my channel. It's very kind of you. I'm not the world's best videographer. I'm not the world's best cook. I'm not the world's best cheese maker. But I'm in there having a go. And that's the main thing. And it keeps me occupied, as I've said before. I have a pretty tight schedule with my wife, looking after my wife in her condition. So, and I do appreciate people who understand that, you know. It's a big thing in my life at the moment, and I'm doing the best I can. And this just takes me away from it, just for a very short time. And that's all I can ask. And it's better than doing nothing, because in between takes I could go and see my wife and see to her, come back in here and do a little bit more and then go back. So I'm not away from her for too long.
What did you do?
And my ears are wide open so I can hear whether she's knocking around or not. As soon as I hear any mobility, I'm in. I don't want her to fall over. She's already fell twice in the last week, bruised her shoulder twice. So I'd sprained an ankle on her left leg. She was held up for 2 days, couldn't put any weight on it, but she's all right now. She's got over it. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. Enjoy the video, and like I say, I'll catch you in the next one. And as I normally say is, ta-ra. Ta-ra for now.